A Microsoft outage that has struck users nationwide, limiting access across the country. Services including major banks and news outlets have been affected by the outage, as well as systems including Gmail, Amazon and Australia Post. Now, the global Microsoft outage is affecting multiple systems, and to get more on this, we have my colleague Vishal joining us. Vishal, many news outlets have been impacted as well. We're talking about airline operations that are affected, users unable to access Microsoft services. We at our office are getting impacted here as well.
That is right, Divya. So as we speak, at least 4 to 5 systems in our office itself, shut down suddenly, and they were not able to restart it. So in the beginning, we thought it's a local problem, but it turns out to be a global outage of Microsoft 365 services and some Azure services as also. So the latest report suggests that some flights in the US and also in India also some flights were grounded due to this outage. However, reports from the US suggest that outage has been resolved. Microsoft 365 status on the X website, X social media also says some of the outage situation has been controlled. But as we speak, there are some latest updates coming in from the cloud of Microsoft that says that impacted services may include but are not limited to Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Purview and Viva Engage. So these are some of the services of Microsoft that might have been affected. Microsoft is regularly updating as to how it's trying to mitigate this situation. The latest update from Microsoft 365 status on the X website says that our services are still seeing continuous improvements while we continue to take mitigation actions. So as we've been reporting that they have taken some action and they have been able to counter some of these outages, but the global outage still remains. We are hearing that in India as well, some flights have been grounded. We are yet to confirm that, but reports are coming in from all over the globe that this service outage has impacted almost everyone.
Bringing a lot of businesses to a grinding halt. As you mentioned, many flights that we are seeing have, in fact, that is being reported is that many flights in the United States have been grounded because of this outage. Take us through the other sectors of the industry that have been impacted.
So as I mentioned earlier, some of the other services that could have been impacted as Microsoft has been declared on its live page. Some of the services are Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Purview and Viva Engage. So these are some of the services that Microsoft provides, and all of these have been affected. And also the Azure medium of Microsoft has been affected. So it seems to be a global outage as we speak, but we'll get you the latest. As of now, the Microsoft 365 status is reporting that services are still seeing continuous improvement. So they have been able to somehow mitigate this, but as we've been reporting, it's a global outage and it still needs to be handled.
Right, from what we're hearing from Microsoft is that, they are trying to restore this issue. They're trying to fix the problem. How long has this problem been going on?
It's been at least the first time it was reported was at least 3 to 4 hours ago. And suddenly airlines were starting to, stop their services, and then newsrooms started getting affected. Sky News from the UK had to shut some of its shows, had to air some documentaries, and in our office also some systems were affected. We thought it was a local problem, as we mentioned earlier, but it's a global outage.
Right. I mean, it is a problem that's ongoing over hours, and they haven't been able to fix the problem.
Yeah.
It seems to be a very huge problem that's going on over the last 3 to 4 hours, from what we're hearing from reports coming in as long as 5 hours, since many systems have crashed across the world. This is a system, the Microsoft 365 system is down. This is what they have been putting out those warning signs saying that the systems are down and some users will face issues.
So
and inconveniences that have been caused. They're regretting those inconveniences while saying that they're trying to fix the problem. Vishal, take us through, we know airlines services have been grounded.
Yes.
We do know that things have, as far as the computer systems at many news outlets have been impacted as well. Let's just also first get our guest in. We have Ankush Sabharwal, founder and CEO of AI and Tech Expert, joining us to get us more on this. Ankush, when was the last time we saw this kind of outage?
I think we had seen around 4 years ago, especially in Mumbai data centers, because of extensive heat in Mumbai. I think the servers were down for around 5 to 6 hours in India.
So, Ankush, from what we are seeing on the internet is that it's at least been about 5 hours since Microsoft has been impacted. What's really causing this blackout?
I don't know. I just came to know about this. I don't know what's the cause of it. But fortunately, we are safe as a company, and all our clients and all our users are safe. We always try to have multiple strategies to for the disaster recovery. If one cloud is not working, we switch over to other. But we had most of our servers, not most, I think majority of our servers are in India, and we have zero impact. I'm not sure whether this outage is for the data centers all over, or it's only in the US. I've seen some reports in the US companies getting impacted.
Back home here as well, we are getting impacted at NDTV as well. We have my colleague Vishal also joining us. Vishal, take us through the areas, the sectors that have been impacted due to this outage that is being reported for almost 5 hours now.
So as I spoke earlier, that systems in offices, newsrooms, everywhere, they have been affected. But we are getting reports that airlines are also affected. So we have a slew of updates from the airlines. SpiceJet is saying that we are currently facing a technical issue in providing updates on flight disruptions. Our team is actively working to resolve this issue. So it's all over now. Akasa Air is also updating that due to infrastructure issues with a service provider, some of our online services are affected. So it's starting to spread in India as well. The report suggests that it's some kind of a bug that was involved with the update that could have caused this global outage. However, confirmation from Microsoft is yet to be done. Microsoft is continuously updating on what's been going on and how it's trying to mitigate the situation. As I mentioned earlier, there are several services that have been affected, like Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365, Azure services also affected, and now back in India, some airlines such as SpiceJet and Akasa Air have grounded flights, have not been able to process requests from their customers because of this outage.
Right, so Vishal, is this because they've been trying to update their system, update their Windows, and that is what has really caused this outage?
Yes, so initial reports do suggest that it could be something related to the updates involved. There could have been some kind of a bug that was unintentionally introduced into the systems which caused this global outage. However, confirmation from Microsoft remains, and we have to note the fact that these outages do happen once every year, whether it's Microsoft, some other services, these outages do happen and affect millions of systems across the globe. And generally, these tech companies take some hours before they, resolve these problems. So it's been a couple of hours for us actually. So we'll have to wait and see what actually caused these problems that has affected, millions across the globe.
Ankush Sabharwal, of course, we have seen this outage, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, we've seen this happen in the past. How long does it usually take for this problem to get resolved, and what does one do in these situations?
Yeah, so I think though we can be heavy in one service provider, but we should always have a disaster recovery mechanism, always have plan B in the technical aspect. So you can have parallel, probably full load capacity failover, or maybe the mini version of fallback. but especially when you have services where millions of people are using it, and because of one service provider, there can be huge impact on financial reputation and so on. So we should not probably be dependent upon one service provider. That's probably the lesson. And again, as I said, I'm not sure about it, but again, even one service provider gives services in multiple regions for disaster recovery. So as I was saying, say we have servers in India, maybe as a backup, few of them we can have outside India. And even in India, there are 2 to 3 data centers from each service provider. So we should take probably multi-region approach so that we can handle our customers in this kind of situations.
Right. So from what we're hearing is whether it's SpiceJet or whether it's flights in the United States, they've been grounded because of this crash. As far as the Microsoft system is concerned, what does one do in such situations? I mean, this could go on for hours and perhaps even the whole day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure what is causing and why, especially all major airlines and even saying your services have been impacted. As I was saying, we are safe, and so we also use GCP, Google Cloud majorly, and we also use some of Microsoft services. I'm not sure why. I've checked with my team as well. Nothing is impacted. I have seen few Microsoft services, all are working. I don't know, maybe it's region-wise, or maybe some services. And maybe the airlines, as we know, I think most of them are dependent upon GDS, the global distribution partners, and maybe they have been impacted. And in fact, and then eventually all the service providers who are using one software or one GDS got impacted. Yeah, so sorry, I don't have much details, but maybe we are safe with the kind of strategies which we have taken in past, because we have seen this kind of situation around 4 years ago.
Ankush, there is a statement that's come out by Microsoft. My colleague Vishal has all the details. Vishal, what have they said? What is the reason behind this outage?
So Microsoft is giving the details now as to what could have caused this global outage. So they're saying that configuration change in portion of our Azure backend workloads caused interruption between storage and computers resources, which resulted in connectivity failures that affected downstream Microsoft 365 services dependent on these connections. So I know these words are full of technical jargon, but they have come out and said that due to some updates, due to some configuration changes in their system, this happened, and this global outage was a result of this configuration change. Microsoft has just updated on that. It's on their cloud page. So how they are going to mitigate this problem is what remains to be seen, and we'll get you the latest then.
Right, Vishal, from what we'd heard also is that Microsoft was changing the way it updates its Windows, introducing checkpoint cumulative updates. Could that also be something that's led to this outage?
Again, that remains to be seen as to the exact reason, but they have come out with an initial statement saying that some kind of configuration change in their system caused this global outage, which resulted in grounding of flights across US and now also in India. As I mentioned earlier, airlines such as Akasa Air and Spice Airlines, they have also said that their flights are affected, and urge the customers to be patient as they have not been able to book flights also. Reports are suggesting that. So, and as I mentioned earlier, systems across newsrooms, across offices who use Microsoft, they have all been affected. So it's a major outage affecting millions of people and millions of systems across the globe.